السلام عليكم أحبتنا، أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. بالنسبة لفقرة تسرب مدرسي dropping out، ننتقل الآن إلى العرض. the body. شوف معايا العرض، عندنا كثافة كبيرة راح نستعمل connectors and many ideas. First of all كما poverty is the top reason that push students to leave, push students to leave school. Full stop. In other words, comma, parents, comma, especially in rural areas, comma, are unable to pay school fees for their kids because they are either unemployed or have low paying jobs. Full stop. Besides, distance is an additional factor. Many schools are located far from students' home, and school transportation is not always available is not always available. Therefore, students are obliged to quit school, full stop. Furthermore, owing to literacy, and ignorance, parents are not always aware of importance of education, in life, full stop. They believe that work is more beneficial than education, education. Consequently, they take their kids, out of school, and send them to work in order to help their families financially. Full stop. That's all. I'll read now and I'll explain. First of all, أولا وقبل كل شيء, poverty is the top reason. إن الفقر هو السبب الرئيسي that push students, الذي يدفع بالطلبة to leave school, مغادرة المدارس. In other words, بعبارة أخرى, parents, especially الأولياء بالخصوص, in rural areas, في المناطق الريفية, are unable to pay school fees. هم غير قادرين على دفع المستحقات المدرسية for their kids, لأطفالهم, because بسبب they are either unemployed بسبب أنهم غير موظفين or have low paying jobs أو أنهم يعملون في مهن قليلة الدفع. Besides بالإضافة distance المسافة والبعد is an additional factor هو سبب أو عامل إضافي. Many schools are located semicolon هنايا many schools are located far from students. الكثير من المدارس many schools are located واقعة بعيدا يعني far بعيدة من الطلبة عن منازل الطلبة. students home التشكيل الرائع students home and school transportation وحقوق النقل is not always available وحقوق النقل غير متوفرة في معظم الأحيان. therefore يعني نتيجة ذلك students are obliged to quit school الطلبة يكونون مجبرين لكي يغادروا المدرسة. furthermore علاوة على ذلك owing to literacy يعود الأمر إلى الأمية and ignorance والجهل. parents are not always aware يعني الأولياء ليسوا في كثير من الأحيان واعين of importance of education بأهمية التعليم in life في الحياة. full stop. they believe that work إنهم يعتقدون بأن العمل is more beneficial than education يعتقدون أن العمل هو أكثر فائدة من التعليم. consequently هذا connector نتيجة لذلك they take their kids out of school يأخذون أبنائهم خارج المدرسة and send them ويبعثونهم to work كي يعملوا in order to help من أجل أو بهدف مساعدة their families عائلاتهم financially ماديا أو في الجانب المادي. شكرا جزيلا. I read now راح نقرأ بطريقة سريعة. First of all, poverty is a top reason that pushes students to leave school. In other words, parents, especially in rural areas, are unable to pay school fees for their kids because they are either unemployed or have low-paying jobs. Besides, distance is an additional factor. Many schools are located far from students' home, and school transportation is not always available. Therefore, students are obliged to quit school. Furthermore, owing to literacy and ignorance, parents are not always aware of the importance of education in life. They believe that work is more beneficial than education. Consequently, they take their kids out of school and send them to work in order to help their families financially. بلا ما ننسى شرح بعض الكلمات الأساسية راح تجي في الموضوع. For example عندنا بعض الكلمات here. شوف معايا عندنا rural عندنا the adjective rural opposite تاعها اصبر معايا to quit وش تساوي عندي ثلاثة ignorance وش تساوي وش عكسها rural عندي urban بمعنى هنايا ريفي مدني يعني مدينة. to quit to leave يغادر كما فرنسي to quit to leave. ignorance تساوي literacy الجهة الأمية وعكسها education طبيعة الحال. education. Rural or urban, to quit, to leave, ignorance, literacy, education. Thank you very much. شكرا جزيلا. أراكم في الفيديو القادم في بناء خاتمة لهذا الموضوع. شكرا.